Hey folks, Ken Poole here, Keller Williams Experience Realty. This video is in response to a stats video I put out a couple weeks ago just showing how seasonal sale patterns in detached homes in Simcoe County area haven't really existed as you might think they traditionally do over the last couple of years or so. And what I mean by that is the spring market versus the summer and fall. Traditionally, you would expect spring would give you a better chance to sell with a higher value and that more sales would be occurring. What I had previously shown was the spring market, which would basically be March through June, so March, April, May, and June. You would usually expect better values and more volume to move in those 4 months than you would in July and August, which traditionally were slow months, and September and October, so the following 4 months after those spring months. 2018 and 2019 had shown that actually the sales volume and price per square foot were actually holding pretty steady. So after I'd put that video out, I had somebody ask me, well, could you show us maybe what kind of patterns have existed over the past 5 years to compare? And I thought that was a great idea, so I pulled some numbers. For simplification purposes, I just did price per square foot for all detached homes rather than separating for bungalows and 2 stories. So what I've shown is sales volume and price per square foot for detached homes in Simcoe County on the Barrie board. All right, so here we go. If we go back to 2015, spring of 2015, 1,738 sales. Okay, so again, that's spring is March, April, May, and June by my definition here. Okay, the following 4 months, July through October, it went to 1,421 sales. Okay, so that was a drop in sales volume by 18.2% from one 4-month block to the next. Okay, that would be probably expected in a typical seasonal fluctuation. The price per square foot in that time, the spring market, it was $245.75 per square foot, and the next 4 months it went to $251.69. So up by 2.4%, pretty close, but some positive trending. So then if we move to the next spring of 2016, that spring there was 1,956 sales. Now, if you remember 2015 to 2016 into the spring of 2017, things were really heating up progressively. So that's not a surprise how much sales volume there was. The next 4 months, it went down to 1,629 sales. So from 4-month block to 4-month block, there was a drop in 16.7%. So again, a seasonal fluctuation. However, the spring of 2016 to the summer fall, the price per square foot went from $282.05 up to $301.85. So an increase by 7%. That wouldn't necessarily be expected for a seasonal fluctuation, but that was a measure of what was going on in the market at that time, where prices were rising or accelerating pretty quickly. If we go to the spring of 2017, that's when things kind of peaked before the market shifted pretty dramatically. So the spring of 2017, there was 1,685 sales. The price per square foot that spring was $373.64. So pretty big jump going back to 2015 all the way. The next 4-month block was after the shift, so it changed pretty drastically right around May to June of that year, and it went down to 972 sales. So from 1,685, that 4-month block from March through June, to the next 4-month block, it went from 1,685 to 972. That's a 42.3% drop in volume. The price per square foot went from $373.64 that spring down to $343.27 per square foot. So that was about an 8.2% drop. That had been the first time since 2015, and I didn't run these numbers before that, but in any of those chunks where it hadn't been rising. So that was, again, a measure of what was going on in the market at that time. Things were coming downwards. So if we move into 2018, the spring of 2018 saw 1,193 sales. Whereas the next 4-month block, summer to fall, was 1,195 sales. So almost exactly the same. So we were seeing no fluctuation in sales volume from spring to summer fall last year in 2018. The price per square foot in the spring market was $349.03, so $349.03. And the next 4-month block, it was $347.67. Fluctuation of 0.4%, so again, basically was not moving whatsoever. Move to this year, spring 2019, 1,421 sales. So the volume year over year was definitely moving faster. Spring 2019 again, 1,421 sales. The next 4-month block, 1,427 sales. Almost exactly the same again. Again, 0.4% fluctuation. So we're on the exact same pace. Price per square foot in the spring of 2019, $351.98. Price per square foot the next 4 months, $353.81. Fluctuation of 0.5%. Again, almost exactly the same. So what I'm showing here is that over the last 2 years, detached homes price per square foot not changing. Okay, really. The pace of sales in the spring versus the next 4 months was exactly the same. Now, a question you might have looking at all this stuff would be, what about the winter months? Because I'm looking at the spring, I'm looking at summer to fall, what about the winter months? So let's just look at 2018 to 2019 winter, this past winter. So if we go July to October, that summer to fall segment that I've been looking at, in 2018 that was 1,195 sales. Okay, November to February, the winter months, it went down to 770 sales. That's a pretty significant drop in sales volume. And then the spring of this year went up to 1,421 sales. So by sales volume measure, definitely a noticeable drop. Price per square foot last summer to fall, it was $347.67. Over the winter months, November to February, it went to $336.92. And then in the spring, it went back up to $351.98 per square foot. So, from the summer, fall to the winter months, we saw a drop by about 3.1% price per square foot. And then coming from the winter into the spring, we saw a jump of 4.5%. However, if you overall compare the fall market to the next year's spring market, it was really only a rise in value by 1.2%. It was just that winter dip. Now, why that winter dip? You can have a whole bunch of theories present here. I believe the main reason is a lot of people don't want to put on new listings, obviously, as you're heading into the winter. They don't want to list their home in November or the start of December with holiday season coming. It's just generally an inconvenience. So there's not really new listings coming on, so that means the bulk of stuff listed has been on for a while, might be stale. A lot of those people have to get more flexible in order to get sold. That's why you're going to see a price per square foot dropping. It's not necessarily a measure of just because if you list in that time, you're necessarily going to sell for less. Personally, that's just my theory. How can you take advantage of all this? If you believe that, well, I'm just going to wait until next spring to list, and that's when I'm going to see a big boost in values. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing that pattern over the last 2 years. Okay, could we break out of it this year? Maybe. There's nothing that says that we will. So I mean, the factor we haven't spoken about is inventory, right? In the spring, we get flooded with inventory. And then as July and August roll through, usually the inventory coming onto the market slows down a fair bit. But you know what we've seen over the last couple of years is the pace of buying throughout the seasons is still the same. It's just the inventory is probably moving around. So this means to me you want to target a time to list when the inventory is low. It's going to give you the best chance to sell in the most efficient manner and probably get the best value for your home in our current conditions. When would that be? Well, I mean, what I'm saying is during the winter might actually be a good time to list. Specifically, you would probably want to get on to the market before the spring happens, because once the spring hits, you're going to get drowned out in like a million different listings, okay? If you've got your place ready to go, the place looks good, it's staged, it's photographed, it's ready to rock, I would get it up on the market before you're competing with the spring market. There's also great strategies for buying that you can utilize to take advantage of all this information over the winter time, right? Because now, looking into November, December, January, you're going to find some of those stale listings. People are going to have to, you know, some of them have to move or have to get the places sold. That's why you see that little dip in the price per square foot. So these are good opportunities coming up on both ends. If you want to know a little bit more about this, please feel free to reach out. I'd love to hear some more questions, your thoughts on this stuff. If you want me to dig into different pieces of information here, there's a lot that we could unpack. There's all kinds of good information. I definitely believe the data doesn't lie, but sometimes the data can mislead us, right? So if you look at the sale prices, the average sale price on the board over the last couple of years, it looks like it's been a pretty good climb, which unfortunately is leading people to think that they can sell their homes for a lot more than they actually can. But the price per square foot isn't lying to us. It's telling us basically it's pretty much the same as it was last year. Anyhow, thanks so much for watching. I hope you found all this information useful. Love to hear some feedback and questions, and I'll be glad to pull up some more information for you all real soon. Take care. Bye for now.